Yeah, that's also a good thing.
All right, so are you ready? Let's do this thing because
Let's do it.
we have people arriving, and it's gonna get there'll be moments that'll get noisy with Charlie, so that's all right.
Okay.
There you go. Are you ready?
Ready.
There we go. Welcome to Cabomil News and Community Update in English. This is Korey Riggs with Claudia Velo.
Hey, I'm here.
And if you're watching us, well, you're listening on 96.3 FM, you probably aren't noticing a difference. But if you're watching us on Facebook, on Cabomil News, you can see that Claudia and I are not social distancing.
No, we're actually together. We're Zooming, but here we are.
We're actually together. And the reason we're together is I'm having a little party at my house tonight, and we're playing, remember Catan, which we talked about on the last show. And this is actually the Game of Thrones version of Catan, which is
what we're playing tonight.
Which is really fun.
And I'm planning to win, by the way, just so you know.
It's a very, very, very fun game. I love Catan. I love Settlers of Catan.
It's a strategy game, but at the same time, there's luck involved.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that play games. I'm kind of a nerd, so I love board games. But you know what I love about you, Claudia, is you're kind of a nerd with me.
I am a total nerd.
And I have a lot of nerd friends too.
Good.
So
Good.
Anyway, we're having a good time. So we have a great show. What is today? What is today's date anyway? I don't even know.
Well, today on the air is Sunday, October 24.
Oh yes, that's true.
And today on Facebook is Saturday, October 23rd.
So we are recording this on the 23rd for the 24th show. And we have a very special guest. We have, oh my gosh, I always pronounce her name wrong, which is really bad, but I'm going to see if I get it right now. Marisa Comella. Yes, I didn't say Comello, which I said last time, Marisa, which I really apologize about. I think I did say that last time, but now we have you back, and I said it correctly. Marisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. And by the way, I didn't even remember you said it wrong, so don't worry about it. Thank you for having me again.
She has one of those last names that are hard for non-Spanish speaking people.
Yeah.
Although I don't have an excuse, but anyway, well,
yeah, you've said it quite a few times by now.
Anyway,
so you can say the gringo version. You can say Marisa Comella. I heard it like that for a long time. So
really? Okay.
Yeah, when I lived in the States, my married name was Ramsauer, and so I was Claudia Ramsauer. And when I called Mexico, they would always understand Gloria Gonzalez. I don't know why. And so I'd say, so who's calling? Claudia Ramsauer, Gloria Gonzalez.
Sí, está idéntico.
So I was Gloria Gonzalez for a few years.
Well, you look like a Gloria Gonzalez.
Maybe I should start acting as one.
Yeah, well, that would be good. Well, just in case if there's people that have just joined us, they probably think, who are these crazy people on the radio right now? But we are speaking with Marisa Comella of Los Cabos Children's Foundation. And Marisa, the reason why we're actually recording this pretty late in the day, which is not normal for us. And the reason we are is because, Marisa, you did an event today out at Cerritos, right?
That's right. And I'm really thankful for you guys to have waited for me because, yes, we did a very cool event. This is the second year that we do it. We did it 2019, and of course 2020 went by and we couldn't do it. But we certainly, expected this moment with a lot of joy because it's a group of surfers from Malibu, California, that come and do surf therapy for kids. So they're specialized in children with disabilities, but they do the therapy with kids, with adults, with whoever's willing to get in the water and enjoy surfing like they do. And they have, this huge philosophy on the benefits of the ocean, which I'm sure we all share, living here especially. And they're very cool people. Mighty Underdogs is their name. So look them up. They're wonderful. We actually have a second day tomorrow in Costa Azul. So, and the kids love it. I mean, we see these transformations, the kid crying, some of the children today, most of them had autism, for example. So they're nonverbal children. They don't express themselves. They just cried. And then 5 minutes later, you see them smiling on the boards. It's just a wonderful miracle for us to watch.
And did you all go out and find the kids for this, or how did you get kids to be involved?
Well, for us, it was fairly easy because we, as you know, we support other programs that focus on children's health and wellness. So we just called them up and said, we have this wonderful activity that some other organization in the States is offering, and they signed up. So mainly what we had today in Cerritos is children from La Paz. And tomorrow we're going to have a lot of kids from Los Cabos. Our second day is always, well, this is the second time we do it, but I think it's going to be like the year before when a lot of kids show up. So I guess word of mouth goes around and people don't cancel to come to the second day. So it's going to be exciting. You guys should come and watch for a little bit. It's really wonderful.
So what time is it? What time is it tomorrow?
It starts at 9 and it ends around 4. So, give or take. Today, the kids arrived pretty late. They got there around noon. So that's why you guys waited for me. So thank you.
Well, if you're listening to us on the radio, you have already missed that event.
But I remember 2019, I got to see some of the children do it. And it's incredible because for them to get over their fear, and then when you see them standing on the board for the first time, they usually, one of the surfers, the adults, is behind them, but they do let go of them, like they're not holding them all the time. And for them, I mean, you can just see their smiles grow and become as wide as they possibly can be. And this sense, you can just feel the sense of accomplishment of these children who are used to dealing with so many issues and things that keep them from having these huge smiles. It's an incredible, even just to watch it, for me, it was, I don't know, it changed the way I perceive the whole surf culture and everything.
Exactly. And they have, as I said before, they're pretty philosophical about it. It's when these kids or even the mothers then ask, can I go too? Because they see the results on their kids. It's not only, leaving the anxiety and or sadness or frustration in the water, but also the teaching of surfing, not only for therapy, but it's falling down and getting back up and falling down again and getting back up. So that's a wonderful lesson that I think we should all remember, that this happens all the time, every day, in everything we do.
Absolutely. And it's really a great philosophy, when you talk to surfers, but beyond the stereotype, people that are really committed to the ocean, how much they help for conservation, but also there's this whole philosophy of how you become one with this most powerful element, which is the ocean. And when you are in tune with that and get to ride that, it's like a communion of different entities becoming one. It's really philosophical and spiritual, really. I don't surf. I have to disclaimer here. I don't surf. I've done boogie boarding, which is a lot of fun and kind of terrifying at the same time.
Well,
it's great.
And what you're saying is so true, is because the consciousness that you have to have when you're surfing, and I've done a little surfing. I'm not good at all, but I've had moments of greatness of surfing. So you actually, when you catch that wave and you're feeling that energy of the ocean and you're riding that, you have to be in the present moment. And I think that's why surfers they're so in the present. And they have that consciousness about conservation, about helping kids. And I think that they can teach us all a lot.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, they even said those words, Korey. They said, this is one of the things that we want the kids to walk away with is to focus on the present. And it's great. It's great to see them, and to see also when you look at the moms and the dads, on the beach looking at their kids, it's wonderful. Another concept that they deal with a lot is fear. No, it's usually the parents who transmit the fear to the kids. No, and they say, you got to let go of that fear here, because you got to let the water take you and just mold you in a way. So it's such a cool experience. We're so grateful that they found us and asked us to support them, because also, and one of the things that we love is they like to work with local, not only organizations like us, but also local surf shops, so that their surf instructors learn how they do it, and they can keep doing this, all year round. And that's what they said today with the Cerritos surf shop that they work with. And Carlos, their local counterpart here, is also very much into it, and a lot of sponsors get involved locally and from Malibu. So it's really a community, and this is what we love to do in Los Cabos Children's Foundation with everything we do, and you know it well.
Yes, we know it well, but there's a lot of listeners out there. As we know, Cabo is growing incredibly right now.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of new people, Marisa, and that's why we wanted to have you on. And a lot of people are coming back right now because of how beautiful it is. I actually know the whales are coming back too. They're
here
some whales,
early.
so they're here
Yes,
early.
They are.
So we're getting a full community already. But Marisa, why don't you tell us about Los Cabos Children's Foundation?
Okay, I will. And I love talking about this and mentioning that, Los Cabos Children's Foundation is a community in itself, and many wonderful people have come through this community and will continue to do so. And you two are great examples of that. We're almost going to be 20 years old next year. Wow. So it's a wonderful time to reflect upon what LCCF, and that's how we abbreviate it, what LCCF has done for Los Cabos and for the families of BCS. And I think I would summarize it in, we have provided a lot of families, or in general, the population of children and their parents, to access health services that were unimaginable 20 years ago. So, and we continue to do so. I think being there for families and giving them direction and helping them empower themselves to go through life, even when a health issue on your child, which is usually the most sacred thing you have, happens to hit you. So, now that we're all philosophical coming from the surf event, I think that when you give people access to health, and health is such a huge thing in a family, when a child is sick, it's so disruptive. It even generates more poverty, more inequality. Let's think of a family with a single mother, and she has to work and take care of a sick child. I mean, there's so many difficult scenarios that we encounter when we do our work that, I continue to confirm that we're on the right track. So to be a little bit more concrete and not so philosophical, we support programs that focus on children's health and well-being. So that means from cancer and heart defects, which were our original causes, very medical, very physical, to mental health and prevention. So I think we also have, we not only give families access to quality health and wellness services, we also give programs, people that are out there in the community, the opportunity to do it better and to have a little financial help and advance their dream, their work. So we also give them access to beneficiaries, for example, with the opportunity that we bring them So when you look at this whole scenario from the back, it's really we're strengthening we're protecting everybody's right to health, no? And this is a big concept that we only do a little part, but I think we also make other people, thanks to you guys that help us get out there, conscious about how everybody can pitch in, no?
Mhm.
So this year we're supporting 28 programs, as I said before, from cancer to heart defects to critical health, disabilities, prevention, and mental health. So it's a big responsibility to, there's a phrase that I love that says that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. It was Eleanor Roosevelt that said it many years ago, of course. And I think we work with the dreams of those people that want to do something for their community, and also the dreams of those kids they're serving, no? So it's a great organization that understands that we can't do anything alone, and that we have to reach out and be open and work with others in order to achieve our dream. And our dream is to improve the quality of life for the children of Los Cabos and of Baja California Sur.
And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Cabomil News and Community Update with Korey and Claudia Velo, and we are interviewing Marisa Comella of Los Cabos Children's Foundation. You can follow us on 96.3 FM, obviously, if you're listening, or on Cabomil News at Facebook. And Claudia, you had a question.
I do. Marisa, I wanted to ask you if you could please comment, because I know this year you're helping the 28 programs. Can you talk briefly about how a foundation that has a program that helps children's health and well-being can register to be considered for support by LCCF?
Sure, we have a yearly convocatoria. We have a grant application process that we put out every year in March, and it takes you through different steps of evaluation. And once our board approves this process by the end of July, then we begin a whole year of support. And it's not only financial support, we go way beyond that in terms of, our volunteering is open to work with all the programs. We have, as we heard earlier, we have other types of events where we involve all the programs that we support. We have capacity building events where we give them not only technical advice on administration and financial and fiscal issues for organizations, but also on how to raise funds. We also give a communications workshop that somebody we know helps us. We try to be there for them, no? Because again, our purpose is to provide better services for kids out there and for families, for a mother who is looking to see her child smile again, no? Or whoever. For our donors' gifts to create that, to make a child better, it's a huge way in between. So we're in there. We're a bridge, no? We connect those two dots, the child that needs the support and the donor that's willing to give back to his community.
And Marisa, how have you seen, and we may have to go into the break over this, and we can continue the conversation after the break, but how have you seen, how long have you been in charge of Los Cabos Children's Foundation? Have you been running it?
6 years.
Oh my gosh, 6 years. Wow. And so how have you seen the nonprofit world change here in those 6 years? What do you see different?
Well, it has definitely grown a lot, and you've seen it also. I think that we have provided a great example out there for those people that have a dream. Again, I go with that because I think that, I mean, we can't do anything if there's not people out there in the communities doing what they love and what they're passionate about, no? And you know what I mean, because you have a similar type of organization. No, we are funding organizations mainly. We also run a program that's about community attention, but again, it's giving the families out there that are suffering with a child's illness or with a wellness issue, probably, giving them access to that already exists. And if it doesn't exist, then the people that dream it know they can come to us and they can get support and get it started.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back after the break and continue the conversation with Marisa, and stay right there. We'll be right back. There we go. That was pretty good. So this is now the break, or do you want to just start?
This is the break where I'm going to have a drink.
Okay.
Salud.
Salud. And this is for Facebook Live. So we're going to do a little salud.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, let's do news quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll continue with Marisa.
Okay.
And then Marisa will probably let you go with.
Or if you like, let's finish with Marisa.
Okay.
And then we'll go news.
Then we'll go into news. So we'll probably give you another 15 minutes?
Yeah,
15 minutes, and then we'll let you go. Is that good? We don't.
That's
we
great.
Don't want to involve you in our I don't want to say conspiratorial stuff. But
non-PC.
In our non-PC talk.
Okay. Now I want to listen. I'll be there tomorrow.
You can stay. You can stay.
You can listen.
And you are welcome to stay, by the way.
I'll listen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be that conspiratorial. Oh my gosh.
It's not bad.
And oh my God. It's not that provocative. I just put the face ID on this thing, and
I hated
it. I want to get rid of it because it's terrible. Anyway.
Yeah.
Difficult problems here. Okay.
First world problems.
Exactly.
There we go.
All right. I think we're ready to. Are we ready to go back?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Welcome back to Cabomil News and Community Update in English with Korey Riggs and Claudia Velo. You are listening on October 24th, if you're listening on 96.3 FM Cabomil, or you are checking us out on Facebook Live at Cabomil News, which is a great place to check us out because you can see how beautiful we are, and you can see how beautiful our location is. Isn't this location cool?
It's awesome. It is beautiful.
It's so professional. We have lights. We're gonna show a video later.
Which make us look better than we actually are.
We're gonna show a little video later that's a little controversial. So just stay tuned for that because it's gonna be a lot of fun, that conversation around that video as well. But to not be so controversial, we are speaking with Marisa Comella of Los Cabos Children's Foundation. And what we were talking about before we left the break, Marisa, is I was asking you the question about what you've seen as changes over the last 6 years. And I want to say what I've seen as a change, and maybe you can comment it, is I feel like there's just much more collaboration going on with the nonprofits here, because before, some of you know out there in the audience that I used to run Los Cabos Children's Foundation. I was the executive director of LCCF as well a while ago, and it was a much different time back then when I was in charge of that, and there was a lot of competition between the nonprofits, everybody going after the same donors. And what we've seen over the last few years, and especially the last 2 years, I would say in particular, is all these nonprofits really coming together, which we saw with the Baja California Surf Community Alliance. And I mean, I feel like I work more with Los Cabos Children's Foundation than I ever have, even when I was executive director. I think I do more with you guys now than when I was actually running the program. But it's a little bit of a joke. But just working with all the nonprofits, and we've been able to do these really cool community programs like the telethon bus, the food program, those types of things. But anyway, I'll let you comment, Marisa.
No, I totally agree. And I definitely feel like you two are part of LCCF, by the way. So, and also, I mean, yes, we started what, maybe 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago with LCCA, with the Los Cabos Community Alliance, also as a dream, no, of getting together for specific community projects, and we did the first, and then the pandemic hit us, and then we did a huge project. No, we went statewide, and we did the BCS Community Alliance, and yeah, we found that the same thing we were thinking of, coming together for common purposes, was something that all other organizations were thinking, no? And there's no other way. I mean, we recently met with our new government authorities. We've been doing some work during the campaign, and then the elections came, and now we're meeting with the new officials. And it's I had never had that experience of having a new governor when we were in working in LCCF, no? So it was an unknown territory for me. And in reality, we all want the same thing, no? We just gotta get together at the right time and with the right goals in mind. So I think that's what happened with the BCS Community Alliance, and that's what should happen, no, all the time. So if that's our role as civil society, to keep that ball rolling in that direction of being collaborative and looking for common goals always, well, I love it.
And I think donors, what I've seen with the donors too, is they love it. They're very, because they feel good about it. They feel like, hey, I'm helping the whole community now. And what I've seen, it takes very special people to be in charge. And I feel like in the nonprofit community in Los Cabos right now, there are those special people in charge that are open-hearted, are looking at what is the big picture for everyone. What are the biggest things we can do that's going to make the most impact? And that's what brings the donors along, because it's a different type of conversation than, hey, fund my organization, not that one. And I don't see this happening in a lot of other places in the world. And I've been involved in the nonprofit world and in the United States and some other things. And I've never seen this before. And it's just so cool how it really happens here. And you see this in the business community here too, the way that the business community came around COVID, around everything that happened, and they work together. And obviously people have their own interests, but they kind of set them aside a little bit, and they see what the benefit is of working on a bigger vision, and they get something later. It might not be that immediate gratification, but it's what's needed in the world right now, is a little bit of putting off, hey, that's mine. And anyway.
No, and it's a result of also Los Cabos coming together, kind of like maturing enough. I remember when I first got here, and I think the only non-for-profit that was actively working was Liga Mac in San Jose, and then here it was Amigos de los Niños, and it was very clear. It's like Liga Mac is for San Jose, and Amigos de los Niños is for Cabo San Lucas, but the people who were here, myself included, we thought in that way. It was like, oh, are you San Jose? Are you? But now we've grown and we've matured enough as a community where we can come together, and we have leaders like Marisa and Gay and everybody from ICF to the smallest one that is just now starting to work, thinking of the whole region, the whole area, and knowing that coming together, we're stronger and we can reach further. And in a way, I also think that the pandemic helped us confirm that.
Oh, and absolutely.
It was a good thing.
The pandemic has woken, I think that, the bad thing of the pandemic, a lot of good came out of it. Yes. And a lot of people have woken up to a lot of things. And I think especially this is how can we just help And that's been the coolest thing that I've seen come out of the pandemic. And no, really great point. Really great point.
Yeah, just to give you an example of what you're saying, which I agree 100% with, we were, very fearful that we wouldn't, after raising for a different cause that was ours directly, which was raising for food support and for PPE for the hospitals and doctors, that maybe, our donors would say, yeah, well, I helped you there, I'm not going to help you again. And we were surprised to see the opposite. I mean, so people embraced that we were part of something bigger, even if it wasn't our usual children's and health issue. And they continue to support us as with our core, with our original mission, the one that Tom Walsh thought of, the one that Korey carried out some years, and then the one that we're still doing today. So yeah, I think people understand that this is the right track, and that they need to support that philosophy.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And before it was like there's this small pool of donors that were supporting everyone. And the coolest thing that's happened is we have expanded that pool of donors, because look at the wealth that's here. It's unbelievable when you see the houses and the developments and most of those people, I don't want to say most, I would say a lot, maybe most is true, but don't go beyond their gates. And they don't even know what the need is. And the experience that I've had, and Claudia, you and I have spoken about this, is when I take people out to see these different projects, they're blown away. And they are so generous, because most people are generous, and they want to help. They just want to know how. And Marisa, I think the greatest thing about Los Cabos Children's Foundation is you give people a how to help. You connect, because you're a 501c3, which means you get tax receipts in the US or Mexico or Canada. You can actually connect these donors to these nonprofits here that you've vetted on a very stringent vetting process, so that they know that their money is going to be used for what those nonprofits are saying it's being used for. And what a service that you're providing to these donors.
Yeah, it's like kind of cleaning the window through which they see a reality that is much harsher than what they see out here in the beautiful areas of Los Cabos, as you mentioned. So yeah, that again, we love being that bridge. We love being witnesses to these miracles happening every day. So I'm grateful to be in this.
So what's next? Like what are we working on now? What's next for us? What do we need to do?
That's a great question. I mean, what I find is that it never ends. 6 years ago, when Larry interviewed me for this position, and I did my homework and I went on the website and saw what these Americans were doing for my fellow countrymen as a Mexican. I was immediately empowered. I said, I got to do something. What am I doing for my people? So for me, it's a matter of continuously improving and continuously keeping our hearts and eyes open for what's out there, and supporting it and making it great, and making it great for the kids of Los Cabos and of Baja California Sur. So we will continue to do that and to look for wonderful projects and to support those that are, as you said, very strictly vetted by a very specific process that we have, and giving donors assurance that the dollar they invest is going way into the future of this beautiful place that they enjoy.
Well, I have a question, Marisa. I don't know if you can say anything about it, but Claudia, the telethon bus that takes kids from here up to La Paz to help with well, obviously Teleton, the Crete, which is a rehabilitation center there, amazing rehabilitation center. So if you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. You will be blown away. There's nothing like it in the United States. I promise you, it's world class. It's unbelievable. It's in La Paz.
Amazing.
And so we have this special bus that when we first came together with the Los Cabos Community Alliance, we got a bus specially equipped to take kids with disabilities up there. But they also work with all the foundations, again, about collaboration, and they take kids to Salvatierra Hospital, where there are no specialty children's services in Los Cabos. They're up in La Paz. And something really cool happened with the telethon bus this week. Marisa, can we talk about that, or do we need to wait?
No, we can certainly talk about it. And I mean, it's kind of related to what I was saying. No, we in this goal of always collaborating, we look for more people to join the projects that we're working on. So yeah, we got the local Los Cabos government to pay for all the fuel of the first bus.
Unbelievable. So good. So good.
Yes, we were looking for this for a long time, along with Crete. And so yeah, it's a great accomplishment, because this puts us a lot closer for the second bus, which was the original plan. The original plan was 2 buses, one from Cabo, one from San Jose, every day going to La Paz. And again, this is giving families access to what's already there. No, ideally they should be here, yes, but first let's give them access to that, and then we'll see what the next step is.
Now we know what the next step is.
Well, we the second bus and this support that the local government is giving is huge. I mean, the fuel with both buses, it's about $60,000. So we're $30,000 a year for the fuel only, and that's a huge support that's going to help us, because that's our biggest expense of taking these kids every day up there. So having the local, which, by the way, it's incredible that they're doing, and it's something that we're helping the community. So I don't want to say they should be doing it, because I'm very excited they're doing it, but it's something that just fits. It fits very well.
And you know, I know Marilena, the Crete director, spoke to some of the authorities, and I had already spoken to some. And when you talk about it, it's a win-win situation. I mean,
yeah,
of course, everybody wants to say yes, no, because that's how things should be. No, I mean, if when people understand what we're doing here, nobody wants to stand out. It's just doing what's right and doing it together. No, that's all.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's just finding the right ways. Bureaucracy, as everybody knows, sometimes becomes like a hurdle race, but finding the right way, and sometimes, often, more times than not, it takes time, but and effort and consistency, and that's what LCCF and all the organizations are about, is keeping at it and getting to the right place and to the right ears. And hey, congratulations, and
yes,
good for the government for doing what is right. Yay.
Absolutely. Marisa, anything else you want to share with us before we let you go? We know you got to get out of here, but what anything else that you want to share? And we will make sure, please let people know, how do they get a hold of you? We'll make sure we put it on the Facebook page.
Well, we're coming to our 20-year anniversary, as I said, 20 year of our foundation of that dream that Tom had, and we've talked a lot about that dream and how it's important to make it a reality. So I would say stay tuned, because we want to make sure that we renovate that dream with the same strength and passion that it started with back in the day in 2002. And just if anybody out there wants to get a hold of us, we are at www.loscaboschildren.org. So just reach out, and we're right there. We're a click away from you giving back to this wonderful community that has given all of us so much.
And Marisa, thank you so much for all you do. And I look forward to our next Los Cabos Community Alliance meeting, which we have every week.
Yes, me too.
And we'll be seeing you soon. And I'm going to try to make it out to the surf camp tomorrow. So we'll talk about it on the next show.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you're going to meet wonderful people there. So
we'll try to come out to Cerritos tomorrow. I'll bring Charlie.
no,
and,
Costa Azul,
Lodema.
Costa Azul.
No, Costa
Oh,
Azul.
Costa Azul tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have gone out to Cerritos and I would have been all messed up.
No, much closer.
It was our drinky.
It's the water.
Okay. All right, Marisa, thank you so much. You are welcome to stay, Marisa, if you'd like. We're going to continue. We got some news to go over, and we have a controversial song we're going to talk about too. So
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It was great to be here again.
Everything you do, Marisa. And,
No.
and I do have to say, go to Cabomil News on Facebook, because Marisa is this lady who, no matter the circumstances, always looks like a true lady.
she's in control.
She's in control.
She's in control.
Everything is fine. And I hat off to you, my dear.
I am humbled. Look who it's coming from. So thank you, guys. I love you. And I want to be back very soon.
Good. We'll have you back. You're one of our favorite guests. So we'll have you back. And we'll have you back when Modu is there, because I know you like to be in the same program that Modu's at. Look at the reaction.
Yes, but I have to be
Modu.
like you guys together, not through the screen.
We'll arrange it. We have ways.
We'll arrange it. We'll have you in the same room with Modu to be.
You know, what I love is to be around people with the great energy that Modu has. It's not just him. It's anybody that has positive energy like that.
Energy.
Like
She
you
thinks
guys.
She thinks he's hot.
Like
That's
you
all it's
guys.
all about.
Well, you'll never know.
You'll never know. No, because she is a lady. So there you go.
I know. All right.
Positive
All right.
energy.
And she's Cuban too. So if anybody doesn't know that, she's like got you're half Cuban, half Mexican, right, Marisa?
No, just born in Mexico, but it's 100%
100%
Cuban
Cuban.
blood. Yeah.
There we go. See, that's what it's all about. All right.
Then we'll talk about Congri then.
Uy, sí, por favor.
Por favor.
Bye,
Thank
Marisa.
you, guys.
Thank you for being here.
Have fun with Catan tonight.
We will.
Let me
We'll
know.
invite you next time.
Claudia, I'm putting money on your name.
Okay.
House
Casa
Claudia.
Velo. That's it.
Casa Velo. All right, Marisa.
Bye,
Thank you.
gracias.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, Claudia, that was a great interview with Marisa.
Absolutely. Wonderful work that LCCF has been doing. And make sure to check the Facebook page, because we're going to be putting the website where you can just click and donate or help or find out how you can get involved in everything that Los Cabos Children's Foundation is doing. So that will
Excellent
be great.
organization.
Yes.
So tell us about the news. We have some news that we need to go
Okay,
over.
the news. First and foremost, this was Bisbee's week,
Mhm.
and it was record-breaking. 199 teams participated. That's not record-breaking, but the purse for sure was, because
Okay.
it was close to $10 million.
What?
Yes. Remember last year, there was no winner. No
Okay, I remember that.
qualifying
I remember that.
Marlin was caught.
Yep.
And so they pulled that, and then with all the teams that participated this year and everything that they got in, that they put in, the purse was close to $10 million.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't have the prize yet, because it's happening as we're recording this, of how much the winning Marlin won. On the day that it was caught, which was the first day of the Bisbee, it won over $600,000, because the team put in for the $500,000 and $5,000
Oh my gosh.
pool for that day. And it is a Mexican team that won, Team
Wow.
Brani, with a 489-pound blue marlin
Oh my gosh.
that the angler fought for over an hour.
Okay.
And then it was received with, I mean, you go to the Bisbee website or their Facebook page, you will see the video of how many people and how they were received. And this year they implemented something at the way station where when they brought a qualifying marlin, like cold fireworks would go and fog and things. So it was a really festive atmosphere at the way station right there in the Cabo San Lucas Marina. So that was the
and
the
how
big
much
thing
do you
this
think
week.
they're going to win? Are they?
I don't know. I mean, it was two Marlins made qualified. The 489-pound one that won, and then a second one that was 305 pounds. So I don't know how that is going to be split, but we will have it in the daily Los Cabos news, I'm sure, because
Wow.
it's big news.
Wow.
And then I also want to comment on something that is good news, and this is brought to us thanks to Gringo Gazette, who is collaborating with the daily news in English. And did you know that the INEGI, which is the statistic institute in Mexico, has a poll, and they go and they ask citizens how they feel in terms of the safety of the place where they live, and Los Cabos won because 77.8% of the people that were polled feel safe in Cabo.
Wow.
And so Los Cabos is first place, followed by La Paz.
Wow.
So there you go, safest place where the
Safest.
people feel the safest in Mexico, Los Cabos and La Paz. That is good news if you ask me.
Well, and you and I obviously feel safe.
All the time.
Are we done with the news?
We're done with the news.
Well, I just want to end tonight, and we can play. We don't need to talk a lot about it. We can just talk it up front, and this can just play out, and it can play on Facebook Live, and it can play out the show. But there's a song that I heard a couple weeks ago, and it's by Aaron Lewis, and it's called "Am I the Only One?" I don't want to make a lot of commentary on it. I don't want to make. I'll let the song speak for itself because I think he does a great job.
It is a very popular country song.
That's
and
not
everybody should listen to it.
And it's not being played on the radio, by the way.
It is now being played on the radio.
Yeah, but it's now played on our radio. And you'll probably understand why it's not being played on the radio in the United States, which is very sad that we've come to this. But again, I think that whether you agree with everything he says or not, it's beautiful to see artists say what they want to from their heart, which has always been why I've loved being American, is people can say what they want, even if you don't agree with it. And I mostly agree with this. So I'll just let you know. And you guys probably know, if you listen to me a lot, you probably know I mostly agree to this. But why don't we just go ahead and we're going to play. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, you're going to be able to see the video, which is just amazing.
It's beautifully done.
But here we go. And we'll see you next week.